سيئات أعمالنا من يهده الله فهو المهتد ومن يضلل فلن تجد له وليا مرشدا ونشهد أن لا إله إلا الله ولي الصالحين ونشهد أن سيدنا وحبيبنا وعظيمنا وقدوتنا ومولانا محمدا عبد الله ورسوله الأمين صلاة وسلاما دائمين متلازمين إلى يوم الدين وبعد. فقد قال الله تعالى في القرآن المجيد بعد أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم: كنتم خير أمة أخرجت للناس تأمرون بالمعروف وتنهون عن المنكر وتؤمنون بالله. صدق الله مولانا العظيم. وقال حبيب المصطفى صلى الله عليه وسلم: كل أمتي يدخلون الجنة إلا من أبى. قيل ومن يأبى يا رسول الله؟ من أطاعني دخل الجنة ومن عصاني فقد أبى، أو كما قال النبي صلى الله عليه وسلم. Alhamdulillah, respected ulama ikram, respected fathers, mothers, honorable youth in Islam, I greet you with the greeting of peace, the greeting of Jannah. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi ta'ala wa barakatuh. Alhamdulillah, first and foremost, we thank and we praise Allah Jalla wa Ala, who has afforded us once again to be present in the house of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala for what a single person should make shukr and show gratitude unto Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, who have resurrected us from the small death this morning whilst being of the reciters of La ilaha illallah Muhammadur Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. For indeed, Jamaatul Muslimin, it is a favor of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala upon us to have Iman. For what Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam continuously, if we look through the hadith, and in fact, of his latter part of his life, when he visited the grounds of Uhud, the Shuhada of Uhud, the martyrs of Uhud, he would make this dua abundant. He said, Allahumma hyina bil iman. And if it's something that is cheap for us, may Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala make it the most valuable thing in our life. May it be that, insha'Allah ta'ala, we do not compromise, we don't sell, we're not willing to give up this precious gift that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has favored us with. Rasulullah made this dua, oh Allah, let us live a life with Iman. And more important, وَأَمِتْنَا بِالْإِيمَانِ. And Allah, let us not leave this world except with Iman. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala make us to be of those people that when our end comes, when it comes to our departure from this mundane world, that it should be, whilst Allah is happy with us, with the kalima on our tongues. Ameen ya Rabbal Alameen. For indeed Nabi Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam said, that person whose last word is La ilaha illallah, I guarantee that person enters into the Jannah of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. May Allah make us to be of those people. Ameen ya Rabbal Alameen. Just on the side note, Jamaatul Muslimin, hence to why Rasulullah had advised us when we do visit the sick, when we do visit a person that is within his sakaratul maut, that is about to leave this world, let it be that laqinu mawtakum, let it be that we remind the person leaving unto the next world with La ilaha illallah. Let it not be that we're sitting down there next to him or her and make casual jokes. Let it not be that we're discussing worldly things. For indeed, that is the time that Allah shows the individual that how worthless this dunya is. Whatever you have attained, whatever stage you are in your life, whatever you have, of positions, whatever you have of material things, at that time ask any dying person, what is their regrets? We will find Jamaatul Muslimin, their regrets will be that why didn't I take out more time for my Allah? We make dua that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala grant us an end whilst Allah is pleased with us. Special du'as for all the sick and ill. We make dua that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala grant them all shifa and kamila. We make dua that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala grant them a speedy recovery. And we make dua that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala be sovereign in their hearts and likewise in the hearts of their families. Special du'as for all the deceased. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala fill their qubur with nur. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala expand their qubur the way the eye can see. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala make their qubur to become one of the gardens of Jannah. Ameen ya Rabbil Alameen. As a continuation of last week, Jama'at al-Muslimin, as we were still busy discussing the biography of none other than, as Imam al-Shafi'i said, that he is the vessel of knowledge, none other than Abu Hurairah radiallahu anhu. Known to us as Abu Hurairah, we all know his name, alhamdulillah, by the name of Abdul Rahman. And Jama'at al-Muslimin, as we did the history of Abu Hurairah, we said the first half ended, showing us the empathy, showing us the mercy, showing us the love that Abu Hurairah radiallahu anhu had for his mom. As we discussed last week, we all know the history, alhamdulillah, she being blind, and he took extremely very care and loved his mom to the highest. Right, and alhamdulillah, they settled down now in Makkah at a place called Dhul Khulaifa, and now Abu Hurairah had the luxury of being in the company of Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam every single day. Nay, Ubay ibn Ka'b radiallahu anhu, the famous Qari of this ummah, he said that Abu Hurairah was like a shadow for Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. Wherever we saw Nabi Muhammad, we would see Abu Hurairah tailing behind Nabi Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. To such an extent, Abu Hurairah was the one that would ask Nabi Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wa sallam questions that the other Sahaba would not ask him. Abu Hurairah had that luxury. Abu Hurairah radiallahu anhu was the only Sahabi that would go with Nabi Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wa sallam even while he visited his other wives. Abu Hurairah radiallahu anhu would tell Nabi Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wa sallam for the 4 years that he had left. Some food for thought for all the scholars of Deen. At times we are in the suhbah of our asatida, we are in their service only when it comes to that madrasa time. Only that specific time from 7:30 till about 2 o'clock. And after that we have absolutely nothing to do with our asatida anymore. There's some of us, may Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala protect us for those who are scholars. May Allah make us all to be scholars of this great deen of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. There are some of us that don't even want to be known to be the student of this particular alim. May Allah protect us. May Allah remove all that hatred from our hearts. And may Allah remove all that kibr and all that riyah from our hearts. Ameen ya Rabbil Alameen. Abu Hurairah, he told Nabi Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. Now all of a sudden, Jama'at al-Muslimin, taking in consideration the condition of Abu Hurairah, who was an orphan, unemployed. Rather, when he came to Medina, the only job or the only expertise that he knew was that of a shepherd. And this job, this vacancy was taken a long time ago. There's so many shepherds in Medina to Munawwar. So now Abu Hurairah basically stayed in Masjid al-Nabawi. Abu Hurairah stayed in Masjid al-Nabawi. He would take care of his mom and rush to be in the masjid. Abu Hurairah stayed in a place in Masjid al-Nabawi known to us as the Lus-Suffah area. For those who are present in Medina, there is a reason to why the Lus-Suffah is elevated. If you look at the qabr, the house of Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, for those who are there, you will see this right in front of you. For those whom Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has not yet invited, please keep on knocking on the door of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and see how Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will respond to our du'as. May Allah take us all to stand in front of His Baytullah. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala take us all to stand in front of the qabr of Nabi Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. We look at the Rawdatul Jannah area, now right behind the house of Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam is a place called the Lus-Suffah, known to us as Lus-Suffah. The people of this elevated platform, you will see throughout the masjid, the grounds are all level except this piece of ground. So this piece of ground is not part of the Rawdah, but let me tell you, Allahu Akbar, who sat down there? The poorest of the Sunnah, the poorest of the Muhajirun occupied that space daily. Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam allowed them to sleep in the masjid every single day. They overnighted in the masjid. Where are the masajid? What masjid are we talking about? Masjid al-Nabawi. Where is the masajid that don't allow, Jamaats to visit the masjid? Where's the people that are of the opinion that it's not allowed for you to sleep in the masjid? Where's the people that are of the opinion that say that you are not allowed to overnight in the masjid? Yes, clear-cut dalil. Clear-cut proof that Rasulullah ﷺ, for the Lus-Suffah, he allowed them to spend nights, if not the entire life, subhanallah. Who was made the Ameer of the poorest of the poor? None other than Abu Hurairah. He was Kana Ameer of Lus-Suffah. He was the Ameer of the poor Muhajirin. So he says, there was days that I would tell Nabi Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, and the pangs of hunger would overpower me. He says, not a half an hour, not one, not two, not three. At times for an entire day, not a morsel of food would enter my mouth. He said, to such an extent, I tied the stone around my stomach just to, so that the pangs of hunger could not overpower me. He says, and I thought to myself, having one stone, but looking at the Master sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, our Nabi Muhammad at Khaybar, when Abu Hurairah met Nabi Muhammad, he said, I had one stone, but looking at Nabi Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wa sallam's condition, he had 2 stones tied around his stomach. Who? None other than the most beloved of Allah. Not one day, not 2 days, it comes in certain riwayat, at times 3 days without food. The most beloved of Allah. And how do we complain? The Ummah, how do we complain? He said, Abu Hurairah, I told Nabi Muhammad this way and that way, and this was all of, having that urge, that desire, that deep desire to wanting to know more of the hadith of Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. And mind you, Jamaatul Muslimin, Abu Hurairah radiallahu anhu is also that Sahabi. There is none to compete with him. There is none, not an Abu Bakr radiallahu anhu, no Umar, no Uthman, no Ali ibn Abi Talib, no Abdul Rahman ibn Auf, no Sa'd ibn Abi Waqas, no Talha. None of the Ashratul Mubashara had narrated hadith more than Abu Hurairah. He narrated the most hadith from Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. More than 5,300 hadith Abu Hurairah radiallahu anhu narrated. And when I say he narrated it, it's not kitabatan. It's not writing it down. It's not in a book form. It's not what we have today, the luxury of just opening a book as how I came. No. This was all by memory. This orphan, remember his stature in life? This orphan, poorest of the poor. So Abu Hurairah said, I followed Nabi Muhammad, but I couldn't take it anymore. And then, finally Nabi Muhammad came home and he entered, and I sat outside, where at one of the pillars, where in the Rawdatul Jannah. Now I swear by Allah, when we visit Madinatul Munawwarah, those who have made intention to go for Umrah and to go for Hajj, please don't waste your time in Madinatul Munawwarah. Please don't waste your time, don't spend most of your time on your phones. Let it be that we take the opportunity and know who sat there before you. Know where you are walking. Know where you are about to make salah. I swear by Allah, the best of Allah's creation sat there before you. Abu Hurairah radiallahu anhu said, this hadith comes in Sahih al-Bukhari, كان يقول والله الذي لا إله إلا هو إن كنت لا أعتمد على كيدي من الجوع. He said that once, after following, I couldn't take it anymore. I couldn't bear the pains of hunger. He said that I collapsed against one of the pillars in the Rawdatul Jannah. وإني كنت لأشد الحجر على بطني من الجوع ولقد قعدت يوما على طريقهم الذي يخرجون منه فمر أبو بكر رضي الله عنه فسألته. He said, that, whilst the stone is tied around my stomach, I threw myself next to this pillar, hoping that the person that would pass me by, that, because Abu Hurairah has that sense of, pride not to ask others. But here Abu Hurairah used some khila, some skill, as we would say. Abu Hurairah radiallahu anhu said, I sat in the way of, when Nabi Muhammad would exit from his home, that is the road that Rasulullah took to the masjid. He said that I would sit in that path, knowing that all the Jalal Sahaba, they would pass me by. This is the way that they would take. He says the first to have passed me by was none other than Abu Bakr radiallahu anhu. He says, فَسَأَلْتُهُ آيَةٌ مِّنْ آيَاتِ اللَّهِ. He said that I tried to spark a conversation with him, asking him about the tafsir of an ayat in the Quran. I knew the answer. Abu Hurairah said, I knew the answer already, but I was hoping that Abu Hurairah would see the pangs of hunger on my face. So this was the skill that I used. I asked him, so Abu Bakr, what do you have to say about this ayah? And how many times, Jamaatul Muslimin, do we come across of the poorest of... There's a reason to why Nabi Muhammad made the Lus-Suffah, why that piece is elevated. Why the poorest of this ummah, they were highlighted. They weren't pushed away in some corner. They weren't hidden away. No, Nabi Muhammad made them known. He sallallahu alayhi wa sallam went to the extent, after a salah he would say, you take one of the Lus-Suffahs with you home, feed him. I swear by Allah that food that would suffice for one, this is the dua of Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, now would suffice for two. And if you take two of them, the food that would suffice for two would now suffice for three. If you take three of them, take of the Lus-Suffah. He, Rasulullah, whenever he got an hadiyah, a gift, the first people he would call would be the Lus-Suffah, would be the poor ones of his ummah. Something to eat, he would call the Lus-Suffah. When now we treat the poor, when do we have time for them? When? Ramadan. MashaAllah. Ramadan times is 100 liters, you name it. No sooner, I think, the poor of this ummah, they feel that Ramadan must never ever come. Because this is the only time that the ummah actually realizes and take notice of him. He sallallahu alayhi wa sallam made it known within his ummah. Take of the Lus-Suffah with you home. When that beggar knocks on our door, let it not be that we judge him only. And I'm not saying Jamaatul Muslimin, all of them are the same. We'll come to see of the beggars as well through the hadith of Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. But let it be, insha'Allah ta'ala, we see the need first before we see the condition of the man. The poor auntie, the poor uncle that knocked on your door, let it not be that we speak ill to them. Let it not be that we use vulgar language with them. Ze kan ons gaat weg. Hey, then at times it is a person that could have been our parents of the same age. This is how we handle the poor. Why I feel that I have the financial muscle. Because of peccable chickens. Now I feel I can duty others around. And for those who are in that position, beware. Be careful how you use and how you handle your workers. Nabi Muhammad's last words before he departed from this world. He said, As-salah, 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 wa ma malakat aymanukum. O my ummah, take heed of your salah, take control over your salah, protect your salah, and those people whom Allah has placed under you. Take heed of them, let it not be that they make bad du'as for you. For indeed there is no barrier between their du'as and Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So Abu Hurairah, he asked Abu Bakr, and Abu Bakr radiallahu anhu just gave him the explanation of the ayah. And then he went. Abu Hurairah said to himself, "Yo." فمر عمر بن الخطاب رضي الله عنه فسألت عن آيات من كتاب الله تعالى ما سألته إلا ليستطعني فمر ولم يفعل ثم مر بي أبي القاسم. He says, Umar, I asked him the same. Umar radiallahu anhu just gave me the answer, the tafsir of this ayah. But being in mind, Abu Hurairah knew the answer already. He wanted them to see his condition without him asking. Because he was not the individual who would beg from others. Huh? Allahu Akbar. He says, Umar just gave me the explanation of the ayah and off Umar went. He says, I sat there and waited a moment. فَمَرَّ أَبُو الْقَاسِمِ. And then Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam came past. وَعَرِفَ مَا فِي نَفْسِي وَمَا فِي وَجْهِي. He says, Nabi Muhammad looked at me, but I swear by Allah, before I could ask him, and this is only the Nabi of Allah, he knew what was in my face, nay, he knew what was in my heart. He says, Nabi Muhammad said to him, فَتَبَسَّمَ رَسُولُ اللَّهِ. Rasul smiled first. He said, then Nabi Muhammad told me, before I could ask him, use the same khira. Rasul said to him, Ya Aba Hir. Remember what's his kunya? What was his nickname? Abu Hurairah, the father of the kitten. Now Nabi Muhammad called him Ya Aba Hir. Oh, the father of the grown cat. Allahu Akbar. So, but the humor Rasul used. Being in my Abu Hurairah, we know what the state of a hungry person is at times. And we can see the ta'at of Sahaba to our ta'at. Can see the obedience of the Sahaba to our obedience. They say a hungry man. He's an angry man. He can't give me a smile. And hence to why we see in Ramadan. Om jezelf dink 2 keer voordat die man kan groet. It looks like he's the only one fasting of the ummah of Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. Going through his pangs, Abu Hurairah said that Rasul called me Ya Aba Hir, oh the father of the grown cat with a smile on his face. He said sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, oh Abu Hurairah, you follow me, come with me. ثم قال يا أبا هير قلت لبيك يا رسول الله قال الحق ثم مضى واتبعته فدخل واستأذن وأذن لي فدخل فوجد لبنا في قدح فقال من أين هذا اللبن. He said, then I followed Nabi Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wa sallam until he came to the door of his house and he entered. فاستأذنه. He said, then I asked permission to enter. And then Rasulullah gave me permission to enter. So many lessons, Allahu Akbar. You know how we walk behind our friends going to their houses, and without thinking when we just follow them. But this teaches us, the etiquette of visiting someone else and before entering his house. Why he had women down there? Abu Hurairah waited outside till Rasulullah gave him permission to enter. Abu Hurairah said, then I entered. And then Nabi Muhammad was handed with a jar of milk. For now, let's call it a bowl of milk. But it didn't suffice for a lot of people, except perhaps 1 or 2. Now, we know when it comes close to Maghrib time, in the month of Ramadan, and how our tables look like. It looks like the samosas, the panchis, the bolas, it looks like all of them are calling your name. A hungry man, Allah, you know, his eyes is bigger than his stomach at times. Abu Hurairah said to himself, radiallahu anhu, I looked at the milk, me being hungry. Nabi Muhammad's first question, Min ayna hadha laban? From where is this milk? He was answered that it was a gift someone gave you. Sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. Nabi Muhammad said to Abu Hurairah, Ya Ameer, call Lus-Suffah. Call the poor ones that is occupying that space outside. Abu Hurairah said to himself, it comes in the riwayat in Sahih al-Bukhari, Ana ahaq. I became angry inside without telling Nabi Muhammad. As I was walking, I just said, Labbaika, yes, I'm going to do that. But as I walked, I said to myself, oh, people will sukri. They will not even animate so. Allahu Akbar. But he went because obedience to Nabi Muhammad came first in their life. He went, he called the Lus-Suffah. A handful of them came. So obviously the house of Rasulullah was not like our homes and our houses. It was but a small tiny room. The first batch came. Nabi Muhammad sat them down. Rasulullah told me, Abu Hurairah, oh Abu Hurairah, now you give them the milk. Abu Hurairah said, I took the milk, I gave it to the first brother. And I see how this brother is enjoying himself with the milk. Allahu Akbar. And when he was done, and look at the hikmah of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Nabi Muhammad said, oh Abu Hurairah, now the second, now the third, now the fourth, now the fifth, give them and tell them not only drink, but drink to their fullest. Allahu Akbar. The first batch of 10 left. Abu Hurairah said, Ya Salam, I thought to myself, there's most probably nothing left in the jar and the bowl anymore. Abu Hurairah looking at Nabi Muhammad, wanting to make him see that, you know, I'm still here. Nabi Muhammad said, Ya Ameer, oh Abu Hurairah, call the next batch. Call them one by one, everyone came. And me, Abu Hurairah, I had to give them the jar of milk. To such an extent, everyone came. And it was just me left and Nabi Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. فَتَبَسَّمَ رَسُولُ اللَّهِ sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. He started to, he smiled. He said, Abu Hurairah said, Nabi Muhammad said, oh Abu Hurairah, it's just me and you. Allahu Akbar. Labbaika ya Rasulullah, indeed it is what you are saying. Nabi Muhammad said to me, Ishrab, drink. Now, it's even more awkward. I now need to drink before Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. Remember, I have 1 stone, but he has 2 stones. But this is a Rasul of Allah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. I said to myself, you know, Abu Hurairah, because this is the Amr of Rasul, drink. And he drank. And fearing that with his drinking, there will be nothing left. He said, I took a sip and I drank and I gave it back to Nabi Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. Rasulullah said to me, Ya Ameer, Ishrab, drink again. He said, my third time, Rasulullah said, Ishrab, drink again. Drink to your fullest, of Abu Hurairah. He said, I drank to such an extent that there was no air, nothing left. And then I handed over, he said, oh Rasulullah, I had enough. I can't anymore. Nabi Muhammad smiled. Rasul said, if that is the case, then give the jar to me. He sallallahu alayhi wa sallam drank, and then only the jar of milk became empty. This is part of the mu'jizat of Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. Abu Hurairah not once experienced this mu'jizah, plenty of times. He sallallahu alayhi wa sallam made Abu Hurairah the Ameer, remember, of the Lus-Suffah. And not only the Ameer of the Lus-Suffah, But he sallallahu alayhi wasallam placed Abu Hurairah in charge of the sadaqatul fitr, meaning of the zakatul fitr, zakat, the collecting of it, the counting of it, everything. He was the Ameer, he was made in charge of it. Now Abu Hurairah had this job, now alhamdulillah, rotating in the souk, in the bazaar area, and he found himself late at night still in the bazaar area, obviously collecting the zakat. And then he came across a person stealing. And Abu Hurairah caught him. And Abu Hurairah said to him that I'm going to take you to Nabi Muhammad right now. And this person all of a sudden, in the form of an old man, started to cry. Said to him, brother, I have a big family. If you leave me, I won't do this again. Abu Hurairah radiallahu anhu said, I felt empathy and mercy and pity for this man. I said to him, please, don't do it again. And I left him. And off he went. The next morning I came to Salah for Fajr. Nabi Muhammad, I met him, I greeted Rasulullah, and Rasul, the first question he asked, Ma fa'ala asira? The first question Nabi Muhammad asked me was, so what did your prisoner do? Abu Hurairah said, prisoner? Okay, also it was just me and him. How do you know? Remember, whatever the Sahaba or Sahabiyat or the Azwaj of Rasulullah didn't inform him with, Jibreel alayhi salam would inform Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. Abu Hurairah said, Ya Rasulullah, it was a poor man, it was a beggar, but he took some items, he stole, and I felt some mercy for him, and I let him go. And Nabi Muhammad said, Raja'a wa huwa kadoob. Our Abu Hurairah, he's a liar, and he's going to do it again. Allah. Abu Hurairah said, I'm going to wait for you. The very next night, Abu Hurairah was waiting, and all of a sudden he saw, here's this man again, and he's stealing again. And Abu Hurairah caught him, and Abu Hurairah said, we're going. And he said, please, in the name of Allah, please, man. It's because of my big family that I have, and my responsibility. If you leave me now, I won't come back. Take the stuff back also, I won't return. Once, Abu Hurairah fell for the joke. Abu Hurairah let him go. Next morning, Ma fa'ala asira, same question. What did your prisoner do? Ya Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. He said so and so, and I once again fell forward, and I, mercy in my heart for him, because Abu Hurairah knows what it is to be in that condition. Not to steal, but to be poor, to be hungry. Hence, to wives of made him in charge. Nabi Muhammad said, Raja'a wa huwa kadoob. He's going to come back tomorrow night again. He's a liar. Abu Hurairah said, okay, this time around you're not going to take me. Waiting for him. Because Abu Hurairah believed in what Rasulullah said. The third night this man came back. What do we say, a leopard? Never changes spots. SubhanAllah. He came back, stole again. Abu Hurairah caught him. Abu Hurairah said, no more stories. I don't want to hear about your family. I don't want to hear about your responsibility. We go, and he said, whoa. Please, don't take me. If you are going to leave me now, I'm going to teach you a few words that if you do say it, Allah will protect you when you sleep, and Allah will protect you throughout your night. Oh, you don't seem confused. This thief want to teach me. Abu Hurairah said, but me being curious just to hear what this man is going to say. He said, okay, go ahead. And the condition was, I will teach you these words, but you need to set me free. Abu Hurairah agreed. He said, read Allahu la ilaha illa Hayyul Qayyum. The full Ayatul Kursi before you sleep, and Allah will protect you from all kinds of shayateen throughout your night. Abu Hurairah agreed, he let the man go. Next morning, he got Nabi Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. Rasulullah asked him, Ma fa'ala asira? What did your prisoner do? He said, Ya Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, something very strange. Not only did he ask me to leave him, but he taught me something. Rasul said, what did he say? He says, Ya Rasulullah, he said, I must read Allah the whole Ayatul Kursi, and Allah will protect me. Nabi Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wa sallam said, indeed he's speaking the truth. وَهُوَ كَذُوبٌ. But he's still a liar. He's speaking the truth, but he's still a liar. Oh, Abu Hurairah, do you perhaps know who the thief was? Well, no. Indeed, the thief was none other than Shaitan. The thief was Shaitan himself. Teaches us a lesson. We can even learn from Shaitan. It teaches us a lesson. A broken clock is twice right a day. A broken clock, twice right a day. You can learn something from whosoever Jamaatul Muslimin. Ali ibn Abi Talib radiallahu anhu said, Man ta'allamani harfan. Whosoever teach me one word that will bring me closer to Allah, I will become his slave from that day till the day of Qiyamah. Abu Hurairah radiallahu anhu, amazing Jamaatul Muslimin through his life, what Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala have gifted him with this memory that he had. There's a reason to why Abu Hurairah narrated the most hadith from Rasulullah. He said once, 3 Sahaba, in fact it was me and 2 others, youngsters, sitting in the masjid. Whenever Rasul would come from his room, these youngsters were engaged in dua. None other than Zayd radiallahu anhu, and myself, Abu Hurairah, and another Sahabi. He said, and Nabi Muhammad came out, and he happened to see us, and he came to us. What mercy in the heart of Rasulullah. He was not a Nabi that walked on the clouds. He was that type of person that mixed with everyone and anyone. He came to the youngsters and he sat next to them. While they were busy making dua, he sallallahu alayhi wa sallam said Ameen to their du'as. Abu Hurairah said to himself, me being the third of the two, okay. Zayd went first. Zayd made dua, Rasul said Ameen. Second one made dua, Rasul said Ameen. Abu Hurairah said, okay, now I must take it away. It's the opportunity now. The window is now. I must take all what I can get. Abu Hurairah's dua was, oh Allah, whatever they ask, give me. Give me also. But oh Allah, grant me such a memory that I never ever forget. Nabi Muhammad made dua. He came to Nabi Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wa sallam complaining. He said, Inni asma'u minka ya Rasulullah hadithan ansahu. He said, oh Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, you know, there's times that because of retailing you and so a lot in your company and trying to memorize everything, there's times that I forget some of the hadith. My memory is so weak. I forget at times. Nabi Muhammad said to him, اعطني رداء اعطني رداءك. Oh Abu Hurairah, give me your cloak, your rida, your shawl, your scarf. He said Nabi Muhammad took my shawl and he opened it up. And I swear by Allah, Nabi Muhammad made dua and I could see something filling the shawl I don't know what. He said, then Nabi Muhammad told me, take your shawl and wrap it around you. He said, I took the shawl, I kept it close to my chest. Fawallahi. He says, I swear by Allah, ma nasitu shay'an ba'dahu qat. From after that, I never ever forgot anything. Not even a harf coming from the word, the lips, the Mubarak lips of Rasulullah. He narrated more than 5,000 hadith from memory, the biggest halqa after the demise of Rasulullah, the biggest circle in learning and teaching within Masjidun Nabwi. Abu Hurairah was the mu'allim, was the teacher. They tested his knowledge, wanted to see, perhaps Abu Hurairah was making up his own thing. After 4 decades after the demise of Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wasallam, a person by the name of Marwan ibn al-Hakam, he was a governor of Medina. He once wanted to test, the knowledge of Abu Hurairah radiallahu anhu. And he called upon Abu Hurairah. He said, without telling Abu Hurairah, he had some people behind the curtain. He said to Abu Hurairah, sit down, and now, akhbirni, inform me of all the hadith that you know of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Now there's one that we know, قال Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. That's what we know, ordinary layman of hadith. But then there is one that is called the isnad, or the sanad of hadith, the chain of narrators. So this is 2 different worlds apart. Abu Hurairah had to say he heard it from Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. Where did he hear? Abu Hurairah sitting down. Marwan ibn al-Hakam is sitting. But remember, these people behind the curtain, they recording everything. And Abu Hurairah starts narrating hadith upon hadith. They say it took him the entire day. Just hadith, just hadith. And the people behind the curtain, they are recording. And Marwan ibn al-Hakam was a clever. He said to Abu Hurairah, because they wanted to catch Abu Hurairah, because of what the Khawarijis, what the extremists, at the time of, we all know Uthman ibn Affan, how he was assassinated by the Khawarij. These people came about and they brought, spread rumors about Abu Hurairah that he's making up his own hadith. Marwan ibn al-Hakam said, is that enough? Is that all? He said, yes. This is Isha time. Marwan ibn al-Hakam said, oh, Abu Hurairah, you are free to go. He called him again a year after that. He said, oh, Abu Hurairah, come here, have a seat. Can you give me all the hadith that you have memorized from Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam? And the people here behind the curtain, remember a year ago, the hadith that he gave? Abu Hurairah harfan biharfin, word for word, from Fajr till Isha, narrated everything in order the way he did a year ago. This was the dua of Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam for Abu Hurairah. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, make us to be, and emulate inshaAllah ta'ala, and try to imitate the lives of Sahaba ridwanullahi alayhim ajma'een. Look at the love that they had for the orphans. Look at the love that they had for the poorest of the poor. Look at the love that Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam had for the Lus-Suffah. Look at the zeal and the desire for knowledge of Deen. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala make us to be of those people. Ameen ya Rabbal Alameen.